Oh, today is April the 10th, Monday. This is the day for student presentation. I'm gonna have four students making their presentations today. Okay? I'll wait for them to come in. Hey, Jenny. How
Hello.
are you?
Good.
Good, good.
Uh,
You ready?
mm,
Okay.
mhm.
Okay, let's give a couple minutes. Let's see. Can you, Justin, wait for the last one to come in? Wait for Yan to come. Where's Ian? Does anyone know where he is or is he coming? Does anyone know? Have any idea?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I saw him sitting in the room, but I'm not sure.
You say you saw him? When was that?
Like an hour ago.
Okay. All right. We're gonna get it started. Okay. One thing. Remember, I apologize for this. Remember I was talking to you guys. Yeah, please turn on your camera so I can see you, please. And
I'm walking back home right now, so I'll turn it on like maybe like 15 minutes.
okay, okay. Yeah. Remember I was talking to you guys about having your group presentation on the 17th or 24th. And it turned out, I can't let you do it on the 17th, so we will have to stick with the original. Well, what's your decision? Have you talked about that, or what's your preference?
We can do it on the 24th.
24, yeah, thank you. Because it turned out, something else just popped up. There's a seminar, a very important seminar, and I have to go. I have to attend. So it's from 10 to 3 on that day, on 17th. And then I have another one. I need to give a talk to students at the Clemson University at 4. So that's just because of that, just there's no way we can have it here. So we're gonna have all your individual presentations, all four of you today, right? And then we can take the 17th off, no class on the 17th. Okay? You can use that time to work on your group project together. Okay? And then on the 24th, as originally scheduled, we're gonna come back and I'll hear your group presentation, a group project. Okay, is that all right? Okay, okay. Who wants to go first? Now is your time, your show, your individual presentation. Who wants to go first?
Oh,
Can anyone go first? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Yang can go second. All right. Let me make Jenny the presenter. Okay, you are the presenter now. Go
okay.
ahead.
Let me. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, right. Okay.
Yep.
Loud
Um,
and clear.
okay. My my topic is the smartphone industry. Sorry, I just need to grab out my notes. Okay. Uh, 1 second. Sorry.
Okay, right.
My
Take your
notes
time.
are on my phone.
Innovative disruptor. Yep, that's good one. The disruptor.
Actually,
Definitely.
you know what? I think I might be able to remember it. You know what? It's okay. My phone is over there. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
the smartphone industry, it's an innovative disruptor. Okay. So, what is the criteria of a smartphone? Nowadays, everyone is so used to it that I feel like you don't really think about what is considered a smartphone.
Right.
Well, back in the day, there were things called cell phones, and a smartphone is basically a cell phone that you can also do other things like, notably like check the internet. And with the internet comes all kinds of things like email, apps, games, all kinds of things. Yeah. So smartphones have changed the way we live our lives. Like if you think about it, almost everything is different from like just um first of all, like you just always have a phone on you, and also you basically always have access to information now that we have phones. Like you can instantly Google things, or like back in the day you would not be able to do this. and it replaced many other products such as like books, cameras, MP3s, GPSs. Like before smartphones, these were all separate things. But with the smartphone, they have all become one thing. And due to this, it like became a major disruption to the market. Like these are just a few things, just to name a few, but it essentially was a huge disruption to the market. Yeah. And to give you an idea of how big the industry is, in 2021, the market was valued at $457 billion. And in fact, more people have access to smartphones than a working toilet.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
And here's just a brief timeline of like, you can see that smartphones are actually very new, relatively. Like 1973 was the first cell phone, so that's not a smartphone. And then 1984 is just the first cell phone that was like 2 pounds, but you could just carry it. Like it doesn't have to be plugged into a wall. That's what it means by portable mobile device. And then 1992 was the first technical smartphone, but it's not exactly what you would think of now. It's maybe like not even as smart as like a BlackBerry. And yeah, and then it just went on from there until it wasn't like such a big market until 2007 when Apple joined the game. That's when smartphones became like a huge thing. And it's like when you think of smartphones, you may think of iPhone, and when you think of iPhone, you might think of like iPhone 3 and after. Like you probably don't even know of any smartphones before the iPhone 3. It's very unlikely unless you're in the tech sector. Yeah. And so today I'll be talking about the three biggest smartphone producers, which will be Apple, Samsung, and Xiaomi. And so if this is the 2022 quarter four market share, as you can see, Apple is the biggest by quite a gap, and then followed by Samsung and Xiaomi. Yeah. And actually, Huawei was, if we went back a few years, Huawei was very big, but then it kind of had all the political stuff, and then it kind of died down, and then in fact Xiaomi actually started becoming bigger around the same time that Huawei started dying, so it was kind of like almost like a replacement for the Chinese smartphone producer. Yeah. Okay, so we'll first talk about Xiaomi. This is their mission statement: making quality technology accessible to everyone. And we will see how this is implemented a bit later. Yeah. So a little background is it's pretty new. It was established in sorry, wait. Oh my gosh. Uh okay, I did not order this properly. This established in 2010, I think. It was established in
Mhm.
2010, and in only 4 years, it became the largest smartphone company in China. Yeah, and take note, this is around the same time that Huawei was dying, so that's why. So in only 4 years. And they're known for their Mi series phones, but they also produce laptops, mobile apps, and home appliances. And more recently, they also started selling all kinds of things like hats and bags and glasses and backpacks and lunch boxes and pillows and cups and filters and umbrellas and screwdrivers. Yes. Um,
What kind of home appliances does Xiaomi make? Do you know? Have
I
you heard
think
about it?
things like rice cookers and like vacuums, like just all like electronic and
Mm,
like smart
okay.
speakers, like almost like everything. We'll see a bit later. Their tactic is like quantity over quality, I would say. Like compared to like Apple,
Mhm.
it's like I feel like this is overall summary wise, I would feel like I put it in this order because it's almost like going from quantity over quality to somewhere in between to quality over quantity. We will see that a bit later. But yes, their tactic is like super like huge product line. Yeah. It's like all kinds of weird things, like pillows. What, can you imagine if Apple sold pillows? Anyways, okay. Yeah, here's the basic information. It's headquartered in Beijing, and its annual revenue is 40 billion, and it's a publicly traded company. Actually, all three of them are publicly traded. I just added that, yeah. And they have an employee base of 32,000, which is the smallest out of the three companies. So in terms of efficiency, Xiaomi, like just in terms of hitting the market, like doing it fast, Xiaomi was probably the fastest, but at the same time, I feel like their foundation is not as solid because of their tactic. Yes. So their strategy was to have this is their marketing strategy. They have a massive product line, as we saw earlier. Like they sell all kinds of things. And even for smartphones, they have like a subsidiary or something. They sell different kinds. Like they sell super cheap smartphones. They also sell slightly more expensive, but most of them are pretty cheap. They have a like a branch company that sells gaming smartphones and another one that sells like a different kind of smartphone. It's just like it just has so many products, okay? And then they try to keep prices as low as possible, as close to the production price as possible. And they compensate by keeping the products in the market for 18 months, which is longer than most smartphone companies. Like iPhones, for example, are only on the market for like 1 year until the next one comes out. And most sales are done online. They used to be done exclusively online, but now they have tried to open some physical stores just to make it seem a bit better because a lot of people feel like ordering things online might be a little sketchy. Yeah, and they use inventory optimization and flash sales to keep its inventory low. Like every time, like when they need to clear out stuff or if something new is coming, they have like super big price cuts to their already cheap. So basically, they just sell a lot for very cheap. And their way of promotion is brand ambassadors. I think it's like a big thing in Asia, but like especially in India and China, they just get a lot of celebrities and then you will see a lot of I realize Apple doesn't really do this, but like seeing a celebrity holding the phone, yeah, it's very Chinese and Indian. Yeah. Anyways, they would get like Bollywood stars or Chinese actors, like that. Yeah. That is their strategy. Okay. So the next company is Samsung. Samsung is their mission statement is we will devote our human resources and technology to create superior products and services, thereby contributing to a better global society. I feel like that's actually very vague. I feel like it's more vague than Apple and Xiaomi. I feel like this could mean anything, but anyways. So a little background is this the world's largest manufacturer of mobile phones and smartphones by I think it means by like employee count and stuff like that. Like physically the biggest. Yeah. And it's known for in terms of smartphones, they're known for their Samsung Galaxy line. And Samsung also produces a lot of other electronic components, including batteries, semiconductors, image sensors, camera stuff, and displays. Yeah, the semiconductors is a big thing now. But anyway, so they also produce other electronic parts. So they don't have to like get parts from other companies for their phones. Yeah. And basic information, their headquarters is in South Korea, and their revenue is 245 billion, and they have, as you can see, a lot of employees, and it was founded out of the three companies, this is the oldest company. So that kind of plays out in their marketing strategy too, which we will see. Yes. So one of their strategies is actually, it's almost like accumulated trust because it's an old company. It's been in Korea for so long and they almost kind of sell just based off of the fact that like for the more conservative buyers, they're less likely to want to try a bunch of new brands. If they just see something Samsung that they've seen like all their life, they might just buy it. So that is one of the tactics that they promote themselves as. And they produce products to like the products they have, they try to adapt it to the current market trends and consumer needs. Like whatever is currently like for example, like a better camera, like everyone wants a better camera, and they'll try to make a better camera and then stuff like, like they go for the demand. Yeah. And for price, they use a price skimming tactic. Apparently, they're very known for this. Like, new releases start at like overly high prices, like higher than they would need to sell it. But as soon as competitors launch a similar product, they like cut the price down so it's more competitive. Yeah. And they also use brand ambassadors such as like they had like BTS and like Blackpink and all those K-pop stars. They all also holding the phone, like like that. And they also had like collabs where they would get like a special edition of like a black and pink earphones or something like that. Something like that. And then social media. They promote a lot on social media. Like their like Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook are all very active and they make sure that they basically their social media is very well tended and they also do a lot of promotion on social media. Yeah. Oh, and YouTube. Yeah. And then the last company, which is also the company we all know and love, Apple, to bring the best user experience to customers through innovative hardware, software, and services. I feel like this mission statement is very accurate because Apple is very focused on user experience and also through innovation. So both of these words are in the mission statement. Yeah. So a bit of background. It's the world's largest technology company by revenue, and it greatly contributed to the popularization of smartphones as we can kind of, I feel like most people's impression of smartphone instantly goes to Apple, like even if you don't have an Apple phone. And as of March 2023, Apple is the world's biggest company by market capitalization. And their smartphone they're known for is the iPhone, and they're also known for like MacBooks, iPads, AirPods, and other technology stuff. Yeah. And as of right now, I don't think they produce most of their parts. I think they get it from other companies. I think even including maybe Samsung. I think they get some part from Samsung. But
Yeah.
yeah, so they're mostly on the production, producing the actual final product side. Yeah. And some basic information is they're based in California, and their revenue is notably a lot higher than the first two companies. And they have less employees than Samsung, but a lot more than Xiaomi. And it was founded in 1976. Though at the time it was called like Apple Computer Company. Yeah. Okay, so their strategy is first of all, they focus on high product quality. Like they make sure that the products, like whether it's from the user experience, like from the website to the actual phone, like if you look at it, it's actually a much better quality, I feel like, than most smartphones. Like they make sure that the like even the smallest things are very high quality and keep it simple in terms of both the design, the phone design, as well as like just when you buy it, like if you think about it, there's not like iPhone this. It's just like for example, Xiaomi. If you look at their Mi series, there's so many phones. And then I feel like for someone who's not familiar, it would be hard to pick one unless you did like a lot of research. But iPhone, it just has the iPhone, the current like iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Pro. That's all they have. And you can pick a different color. But yeah, like customization. It's like it's not it's very simple in terms of the selection, and also the store is very simple. It's just the design, it's like just very mono color, monotone, and then it's like just the phones and just the whole experience. Yeah. And then they prioritize profits over market share. Although this was originated from Steve Jobs, this is what his tactic was. He was like, we will prioritize profits over market share. And in a way, I feel like this helped them maintain their quality. But now we can see that their market share is very high, but this was their original prioritization, yeah. And they utilize something called minimum advertised price. So that's why if you look at it, iPhones are never like on sale exactly. Like there might be deals with certain like what's it called? Like, for example, AT&T is like if you subscribe, I mean, do this or this, you might get it for like cheaper, but it's actually not like actually the phone is cheaper. It's more like the phone company is probably paying. So basically, you can never get an Apple phone that's like on sale like other companies. And they also maintain a very good connection to the consumer, like whether it's their customer service or it's just oh, right. Connection to consumers is like it's also tied later to the consumer community, but it's like an emotional connection to consumers. Like when you look at the website, it's designed in a way that makes you feel very like wow, like when you scroll down, it doesn't really tell you it connects to the consumers because unlike some tech companies, like their websites, they just tell you all the tech specs, and then most people who are not familiar with tech specs would just be like, I don't know what all these like RAM or like gigabytes, like they might not be familiar with it, but this is easy for the average person to connect to. Like they just see the phone and they just want it, like instead of all the random numbers. Yeah. And then they create hype around the product by not releasing, like they almost maintain mystery because they don't release, like most companies, they release information about the upcoming products in order to, first of all, get people to, like, for example, if someone's about to buy a phone and then they see this new product's coming out and they see the tech specs and they're like, okay, I want that one. Or just simply just to let people know it's there, it's coming. But then Apple does the opposite. They don't tell you when it's going to come out and they also don't tell you what it's going to have. So it kind of creates this effect where people are like speculating and then there's this whole like hype around it. Yeah. And then also there's a consumer community. Basically, they created this almost like cool, it's like almost like having a iPhone is like something cool. And then so it's like the people who are like iPhone versus the people who are Android, like that. And then lastly, they actually have substantial product placement. Um, they were in court for a case, I think, and then they admitted that they actually had a lot of ties in Hollywood. So I think they paid a lot of money. If you pay attention to movies, a lot of times they're holding Apple. Yeah, that's their strategy. Thank you for listening.
Okay, very good. Any question for Jenny? Comments? What do you think? You like her presentation? Good presentation? Yeah.
Oh, sorry, can I say something?
Yes.
So just to summarize, so overall, I feel like it's like
Mhm.
almost from quantity over quality to somewhere in between, the quality over quantity. I feel like that's like really obvious on these three companies.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I like Apple's tactic, but I feel like Apple's is not as fast as Xiaomi though. Xiaomi is really new, so we don't know where it's gonna go, but as of right now, they grew the fastest, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. And also I like the fact that Jenny has been talking just like a marketer, like a marketing person. So she used all those terminologies like market capitalization, segmentation, and those things, very fluently. That's good. Yeah, that's what I want. I was expecting you to be. So very good. Good job. Thank you, Jenny. Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Who wants to go? Yang wants to go next. Okay, let me make you the presenter. Where is Yan? Still don't see her, see him, huh? We don't know where he is. Okay. Okay, you're the host now.
Sorry. Can you guys see my
Yeah.
screen?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So I picked companies within the fashion industry. So an introduction to the fashion industry. Fashion is defined as the style or styles of clothing and accessories worn at any given time by groups of people. It is the business of making and selling clothes. And prior to the mid-19th century, virtually all clothing was made for individuals, either as home production or on order from dressmakers and tailors. And by the beginning of the 20th century, with the rise of new technologies such as the sewing machine, the rise of global capitalism, and the development of the factory system of production, and retail outlets and department stores, clothing became more mass-produced, and they came in more standard sizes and were sold at fixed prices. And although the fashion industry developed first in Europe and America, today it is an international and highly globalized industry, with clothing often designed in one country, manufactured in another, and sold in a third. And the fashion industry consists mainly of four levels: the production of raw materials, fibers and textiles, and also like leather and fur, the production of fashion goods by designers, manufacturers, contractors, and others, retail sales, and various forms of advertising and promotion. The top 10 clothing brands in the world based on their brand value in 2022 are Nike, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Chanel, Adidas, Hermes, Zara, H&M, Cartier, and Uniqlo. The revenue of the global clothing industry was recorded at approximately 1.5 trillion as of 2001. I'm not sure how much it is now, but and it is expected the global clothing industry's revenue will hit 1.9 trillion by 2025 and reach 2 trillion by 2026. Leaders and followers. The leaders are essentially the trendsetters. They create the newest looks, and the followers mainly follow those trends and they adopt them into their lifestyle. The number of companies competing in the entire industry is rather vague, but I know in the US there's around 30,000. And the market share is in the US is 4%, and the domestic market value of the fashion industry is $406 billion.
You mean the market share, the 4%? You mean which company by what is this? Or is a US share of the world, or was a company within the US?
I think it's
You know,
companies within the US.
within the US. Okay. So you mean the share of the world market, or what is it? What do you mean by exactly? What do you mean by the market share of 4%? That's my question. Just so I can clarify that a little bit.
I think it means like all the fashion industry market share in the US is 4%.
Market 4% of the world, right? Or
Yeah. Sorry.
okay, yeah, thank you.
I picked 3. I think Louis Vuitton and Nike are in the top 10, but Rolex isn't. But I figured I'd try to keep a variety of companies. So Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton was created in 1851, and it is one of the most valuable luxury brands in the world, and a division of LVMH, which is a French corporation specialized in luxury goods. And Louis Vuitton was the founder of the brand at only 16. He arrived in Paris to start his career as a trunk master, and this led to the creation of their most recognizable product, the square trunk, which is stackable. Like prior to that, I think they had rounded tops, so they couldn't really stack their luggages, and it would take up a lot of space. Nowadays, Louis Vuitton provides luxury trunks, leather goods, watches, jewelry, shoes, accessories, sunglasses, and books. So their marketing strategy, they focus on a couple of main qualities, like main values. The first one being quality. So Louis Vuitton is a luxury brand that manufactures and sells specialized products. Their main emphasis is on the quality of the handmade goods. And in order to provide the best products on the market, they concentrate on their sophisticated design and traditional craftsmanship. And instead of using machines to increase the production capacity, they hire specialized workers to make the products by hand. And this also results in the original and unique merchandises that directly caters to the desires of the consumers. And what sets them apart is the value they place on their workmanship, and they have built a reputation for their devotion to quality. Each trunk can take up to 60 hours to make, and suitcases can take up to 15 hours. Their second value is exclusiveness and strong brand image. So in order to buy a Louis Vuitton product, customers have to go to the official stores, and they have very limited exclusive distribution channels, and they don't sell in department stores. They also have celebrity endorsements. Like they have had Jennifer Lopez, Kate Moss, and Scarlett Johansson as ambassadors, and they are actively involved in sponsoring major sporting events such as yacht racing and motorsport. And they also focus on offering products that can add value to the consumer. And the events, as previously mentioned, they're attended by the most elite members of society. The company can make a direct link with the target audience through these events, and it creates product awareness. And the company creates high fashion ads that feel personal. Most ads revolve around celebrities and create an emotional connection with the consumers. And by seeing these ads, they believe that they are also part of the exclusive group. The second company is Rolex. So Rolex was established in Switzerland and founded by Hans Wilsdorf in 1905. Rolex functions on the funds raised by the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation Trust. So it's technically a nonprofit. And it doesn't pay corporate tax. And all of its profits goes back to the company and its workers. The company is often associated with their luxury branded watches, and they're sold only through authorized retail stores. And today, Rolex is the largest luxury watchmaker in the world. Rolex targets men and women who value class rather than beauty, and that's evident in their slogans, such as "Class is forever." Some people want more than just a pretty face. And the most expensive Rolex to have ever been sold was Paul Newman's Rolex Daytona, which costed $17.8 million. And then their values are quality, luxury, exclusivity, and prestige and pride. In 1926, Rolex was the first to introduce a waterproof and dustproof watch in the world to its Oyster collection. And the very next year, they partnered with the British swimmer Mercedes Gleitst, and she crossed the English Channel wearing the Rolex and emerged with it still in perfect working condition. And this ended up getting a lot of the attention to the brand's credibility from across the world, and it ended up on the front page news in Daily Mail. It was also a landmark moment in branding and advertising history, as they popularized the concept of a testimonial with it. In the 1930s, Rolex was used by mountaineers in Mount Everest expeditions. And once again, the watch came out in perfect condition, and it's essentially a confirmation of its superior quality, that the watch can weather even the most harshest weather conditions. So Rolex has always associated itself with the most historic events and admired personalities of the time. It also presents itself as a must-have for occasions that recognizes landmark accomplishments. And it doesn't really showcase itself as a product, but as more as a celebratory symbol of achievement and excellence. They don't advertise how much better they are compared to their competitors. They want to be taken more as a reward for success. They're some examples of their campaign is every Rolex tells a story, a crown for every achievement. It doesn't just tell time, it tells history. So it addresses the more emotional touchpoints of their target audience, and they managed to create a rather loyal customer base from this. My third company is Nike, and their slogan is "Just Do It." They were founded in 1964 as the Blue Ribbon Sports and an importer of Japanese shoes. And they became Nike in 1971 after the Greek goddess of victory. And as the world's largest athletic apparel and footwear company, they employ over 76,000 people worldwide. They have quite a few different marketing strategies, but I just picked the ones that I felt were most relevant. So the first one is emotional branding. They're known for creating appealing marketing campaigns that evoke emotional connections with its audience, using really powerful stories and like testimonies of athletes overcoming their obstacles, like whether it be training or competitions. They have sponsorships and collaborations with world famous athletes, teams, in order to boost its brand recognition and showcase its products. They did a couple of collaborations with Michael Jordan, Ronaldo, LeBron James, and various other Olympic teams. They have innovative product development, so they constantly invest in research and development to create new products using their innovative technologies, materials, and designs to meet their customer needs and wants. For example, the Air Max and the sportswear, like the dry fit technology. They also have something called cause marketing. They aligned its brands with various social causes such as equality, women's rights, environmental sustainability, making the customers feel good about supporting the brand. Like I know they do this thing where you can recycle your old sneakers and they end up doing something with that. So it's just like a way to help the environment more. They also have content marketing, and Nike's content marketing strategy includes engaging storytelling through videos, blogs, and other media, often featuring athletes' journeys and achievements to inspire customers, which is also kind of similar to the emotional branding, like mentioned in the first one. And that is it.
All right. Any comments, questions for Yang? No? Okay, great job. Thank you. Okay, Justin, you want to go next? Let me make you. What happened to Yan? Still don't see him, huh? Okay. You have the floor, Justin. Oh, one more note. Please email me your PowerPoint files to my Gmail. You know my Gmail, right? Yeah, to my email, your PowerPoint file to my Gmail, please, after class. Okay.
Can you guys see it?
Yeah. Mhm.
All right. So today I'm going to be presenting on the movie industry. So the movie industry in general. So there's over 5,000 movie industry, movie companies slash businesses in the U.S. alone as of 2022. And the way that movie studios like they make themselves known, like it's not as easy as like other things, because like unless like you're well known, like you can't exactly just put yourself on the market like that. So usually the way studios make themselves known is collaborations in movie projects. So if you manage to get collaborated with like a big movie, it could be like your like debut. And most well-known film industries in the US are based in California, notably in like the Hollywood area, Los Angeles. And as of 2020, the US film industry has a market size of almost $92 billion, and it dominated the market with a market share of 55.4% in 2021 globally. All right, so I'm going to be talking about three companies today, and the first one is Walt Disney Pictures. And Walt Disney Pictures is just a small part of like Disney as a whole. Disney covers like media, streaming services, and a bunch of other things. So the largest film company in the US is Disney, and has an annual revenue of $65.388 billion as of 2020. And it's first place in terms of box office sales. I'm not sure if that's changed, but as of right now that I can see, yeah. And it has 220,000 employees worldwide, not just for film, but just overall in the company. And Disney's is often compared to DreamWorks, which I think is now, I'm not sure if it's owned by Disney or not, I'm not sure. but they kind of have like a rivalry, not exactly within the companies, but between like differing opinions. Like people think that DreamWorks is better or Disney is better for younger audiences, yeah, things like that. And Disney also has a bunch of subsidiaries, which is like a bunch of like smaller companies under them that they bought, like Marvel, Lucasfilm, Pixar, and a bunch of others. So while its market share was higher back in 2019 at a whopping 33.28% in the whole like movie industry, it has since fallen off by a lot to 11.14%, almost 3 times in 2023. So Disney's major business competitors are mainly just the surrounding studios in Hollywood, like Universal Pictures, Sony, Time Warner Bros., and Paramount Pictures. And besides the film industry, yeah, Disney is involved in a lot of other things. So for marketing in Disney, they aim for a select target audience. A common mistake that a lot of like smaller movie studios make, they try to like just put themselves out there with an idea without like targeting a specific audience. But Disney, they usually aim for a like younger audience, especially for their movies, their more recent movies, like all of those like older movies. And in the past 2 decades, like adults don't watch as many movies now, so Disney provides parents like an outlet for entertaining their children besides like phones and stuff. And it can also teach them lessons. And it also inspires loyalty with nostalgia. So this is more of an indirect marketing. Like it's not exactly a marketing campaign, but it's a plus. Like kids born in the 2000s, they probably grew up watching Disney, old Disney kids movies. So they're more likely to come back to Disney either for their children or just like to see how Disney's been doing. Yeah. And they also have a very iconic intro sequence that you might like find online, like whether they adapt it into a meme or you just find it on the internet. Yeah. And also they make use, since they have the biggest revenue out of all movie industries in the US, they can make use of that immense revenue, and they've bought a lot of like smaller movie studios, and then like popular ones like Marvel Studios and 20th Century Fox, it really increases their publicity. And then now the second company, Universal Pictures. This is, along with Disney and the company after this, it is also considered one of the big 6 movie studios of Hollywood, and it has an annual revenue of 11.62 billion US dollars in 2022. And even though this is 4th place, which is still pretty high, it's significantly lower in revenue than Disney. And Universal Pictures doesn't have that many employees, only about 2,500. And it is pretty well known for famous movie series like Jurassic Park, Fast and Furious, E.T., and some other horror movies like Get Out. And Universal Pictures has had a relatively steady increase in market share over the years, and it hit its peak recently in 2023 at 25.81%. And same as Disney and the next one, the competitors are mostly just the surrounding big 6, though there are some exceptions. And the Walt Disney Company's motto, I put it in the wrong spot. Okay, this is for Disney. The Walt Disney Company's motto is to entertain, inform, and inspire people around the globe through the power of unparalleled storytelling. Yeah, don't worry about that. All right, so marketing for Universal Pictures. Also, the intro sequence is very iconic, especially like for me, it reminds me of like the Despicable Me series, since it's also made by them. And they also have a theme park, and Disney also has a theme park. But while Disney, like their theme park is like you go after like you like get acquainted with Disney, Universal Studios, like you could go there with no prior knowledge of Universal Studios, but you just go because it's located in Hollywood, and it helps to raise awareness for the company itself. And they have a campaign slogan, "Picture your best day ever," the theme, and yeah, it brought a lot of attention. And also, Universal Pictures uses social media. They have Instagram, Twitter, YouTube to raise awareness. Yeah. And then the last company, Warner Bros., is, along with Disney and Universal Pictures, it is one of the big 6 in Hollywood, and it has an annual revenue of 33.817 billion in 2022. and it also has its second place in terms of box office sales. It is mostly well known for owning DC Studios, so like the DC universe is basically all them, and Inception and The Matrix was also made by them. So Warner Bros. They've been relatively around the same area in market share, but recently they dropped from 13.58% to 4.66%. So that's pretty bad. Yeah. And Warner Bros. Competitors are all the same, the big six basically, some exceptions. And the Warner Bros. Motto is to make a positive impact on the world through initiatives that encourage youth to be storytellers, create access and opportunities for new voices, and drive sustainable production. Yeah. So marketing for Warner Bros. Not all movie studios do the exact same. Like all movie studios have a movie poster, but Warner Bros. Kind of does it a little different. They release posters before the trailers come out, and then after the trailers come out, they post more posters that release little bits of information, and it arouses curiosity among viewers. Yeah, and just having DC Studios is already a big like publicity raise because DC Comics is like really popular among all ages, and it'll only get more publicity if you make a movie adaptation. And influencer marketing, Warner Bros. Has collaborated with a lot of YouTubers and celebrities and had them promote the company to their fans. Yeah. And just like Disney, Warner Bros. Can also use nostalgia to not exactly raise publicity, but like to bring people back or to have people recommend Warner Bros. To other people, because Warner Bros. Made many children's shows like Tom and Jerry. So those children who grew up watching those shows might not watch movies made by Warner Bros. Since they don't want to watch the younger movies anymore. Yeah. Yeah, that's all for me.
Okay, any questions, comments, Justin? No? Okay, very good. You understand? You. What happened to Ian? No clue.
I
Okay,
called him and he did not answer.
he did not answer? No, okay. All right, well, he doesn't make, he can't make it probably for some reasons. We'll probably find out later. Or when you get a chance, if you get a chance to see him, just ask him to drop me an email, tell me what's going on. And I guess since we're gonna meet on the 24th, so I guess I'll let him give his presentation there too. So, but oh, for your group project, have you decided on what to work on? I remember you had two choices, right? Was it Tesla and the other one, Zara? Is that right? Which one do you want to do eventually?
I think
Or
we
still debating?
wait. I thought we decided on Zara.
Oh, Zara. Okay, all right. Zara is good. Is that
Okay.
right? Okay, okay. Oh yeah, maybe I'm mistaken. So, okay, very good. Okay, again, so no class next week, right? Work on the group project together, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. All right. Have a good week, and I'll see you soon. All right.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.